Well, I am so enjoying these unboxings. I have no idea what's in them. It's a complete and 100% surprise to me. It's not like I ordered something and I know what's in the box. Or maybe you ordered 5 or 6 things and they come in separate boxes. Then you might know what's not in that particular box. But these boxes, I have no idea. They're just given to me. These are discards. Here, take. And I have no idea what's in the actual boxes till I do the unboxing. So it's a complete mystery to me. Welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, K-R-S-T-I-N-A. This is where I read books, talk about books, no special effects, no theme music, and a clock that goes off all the freaking time. She doesn't tell time, hasn't told time in 20 years, and she still keeps going off. Every video. Every single video. 5, 6 times every video. If you want to know her identity, Dirty 30 was the New Year's Eve video for 2024. And I did all of Johnny Devanovich's up to that point. So if you could please go all watch up and all watch all my JD Robs, that'd be appreciative. And also go check out Flashback Monday. Where is it? I just had it a second ago. See, no editing here. Flashback Monday, where we talk about all the books in this magazine. So anyways, like I said, no special editing here. And we have a lot to get to. So let's see what's in this box. I have no idea. And there hasn't been, and I've been kind of disappointed though, that none of my authors, well, there's been a few of my authors, but there have been books I've already had. There's been nothing where I've gone, oh, cool, for me. There hasn't been anything that I've thought, I'll keep this. They all go to charities after this, or we have a couple of churches that we donate to. So the first one on the list here is one we've seen quite often. Dan Brown, The Lost Symbol. Let's see. In this stunning follow-up to the global phenomenon, the Da Vinci Code, Dan Brown demonstrates once again why he is the world's most popular thriller writer. The Lost Symbol is a masterstroke of storytelling, a deadly race through a real-world labyrinth of codes, secrets, and unseen truths, all under the watchful eye of Brown's most terrifying villain to date. Set within the chamber-hidden tunnels and temples of Washington, D.C., The Lost Symbol accelerates through a startling landscape toward an unthinkable finale. As the story opens, Harvard symbologist Robert Langdon is summoned unexpectedly to deliver an evening lecture in the U.S. Capitol building. Within minutes of his arrival, however, the night takes a bizarre turn. A disturbing object, artfully encoded with 5 symbols, is delivered into the Capitol building. Langdon recognizes the objects as an ancient invitation, one meant to usher the recipient into a long-lost world of esoteric wisdom. It's a popular, very, very popular series. And that's in good condition. I wonder why the heck they threw it out. Don't know. His companion. Anybody need the companion book too? Angels and Demons. An ancient secret brotherhood, a devastating new weapon of destruction, unthinkable target. When world-renowned Harvard symbologist Robert Langdon is summoned into his first assignment to a Swiss research facility to analyze a mysterious symbol seared into the chest of a murdered physicist, he discovers evidence of the unimaginable, the resurgence of an ancient secret brotherhood known as the Illuminati. The most powerful underground organization ever to walk the earth. The Illuminati has now surfaced to carry out the final phase of its legendary vendetta against its most hated entry, the Catholic Church. American tabloid James Ellroy. And this is good paper. In my other videos, and when I say that the publisher spent time on good paper, this was supposed to be a massive, huge bookseller. Let's see something. The Dan Brown doesn't have it. Do you see the I guess you can't. Well, yeah, there you go. Can you see the difference in the paper? The book has got thicker paper. Oh, look, it's even got lines and spaces. We are behind and below the scenes of JFK's presidential election, the Bay of the Pigs, the assassination in the underworld that connects Miami, Los Angeles, Chicago, D.C., where the CIA, the mob, J. Edgar Hoover, Howard Hughes, Jimmy Hoffa, Cuban politics exiles, and various loose cannons explore a covert anarchy where the right drugs, the right amount of cash, the right murder buys a moment of a man's loyalty, where money, power, influence, and even the presidency of the United States are up for grabs, where the renegade law enforcement officers, a former LA cop, and two FBI agents are shaping the events with the virtual virulence of their greed, hatred, riding full blast shotgun into history. When was this? I usually just do this for the older ones. Somebody ripped the page out. I wonder why. 1995. But that's interesting. Oh, you can't see it. There you go. See the newspaper print under it? Oh, this is another one with good paper. But it's yellowed. Fannie, Flagg, I Still Dream About You. That book's in good condition. Why would you throw this out? Let's see. Meet Maggie Fortenberry, a beautiful former Miss Alabama. To others, Maggie's life seems practically perfect. She's lovely, charming, and successful real estate agent at Red Mountain Realty. Still, Maggie can't help but wonder how she wound up in her present condition. She had been on her hopeful way to becoming Miss America and realizing her childhood dream of someday living in one of the elegant homes on top of Red Mountain with the adoring husband and the 2.5 children. But then something unexpected happened and changed everything. Maggie graduated at the top of her class at charm school, can fold a napkin in more than 48 different and interesting ways, and can enter and exit a car gracefully, but all the finesse in the world cannot help her now. Since the legendary real estate dynamo Hazel Wisenknot, founder of Red Mountain Realty, died 5 years ago, business has gone from bad to worse. The future isn't looking much better, but just when things seem completely hopeless, Maggie suddenly comes up with the perfect plan to solve it all. As Maggie prepares to put her plan into action, we meet the cast of high-spirited characters around her. To Brenda Peoples, Maggie's best friend and real estate partner, Maggie's life seems easy as pie. Slender Maggie doesn't have to worry about her figure or worry about Weight Watchers sponsoring her at the Krispy Kreme donut shop. And Ethel Clip, Red Mountain's ancient and grumpy office manager with the bright purple hair, thinks the world of Maggie, but absolutely nothing nice to say about their rival Babs, the Beast of Birmingham. Birmingham, this unscrupulous real estate agent who hates Maggie and is determined to put her out of business. Let's see. 2010. Oh, we know this person. Nelson DeMille, The Charm School. It deep within the vastness of Russia lies a secret so dangerous to American society that it holds the potential to destroy Soviet-American relationships. It operates without the knowledge of the Americans or any other foreign power. Then one day, lost on dark Russia Road in a sleek Trans Am, a young American tourist spots a man in distress and makes an astounding discovery. The man he tries to help is a fellow American, an Air Force colonial colonel, a man on the run, a POW who has been missing in action for over a decade and now has a desperate message for his young listener. The information must reach the U.S. authorities at all costs. The airman insists for hundreds of American lives are at stake. The young tourist calls the U.S. Embassy as soon as he reaches Moscow, but when help arrives at his hotel, he is nowhere to be found, and the Russians say he never checked in. What follows is best-selling novel Nelson DeMille's most ambitious novel to date, an explosive journey through a landscape of dangerous deception and dazzling illusion. Let's see. 1988? This book's in good condition. It must have just sat on somebody's bookshelf. Oh, Little Blue. That's why they threw it out. I'm just guessing. I don't know. I was not there. I know this name. Anybody seen Jurassic Park lately? Oh, and this has got good paper too, with the lines. Is a loved one missing some body parts or blondes becoming extinct? Is everyone at your dinner table of the same species? Human and chimpanzees differ in only 400 genes. Is that why chimp fetus resembles a human being, and should that worry us? There's a new genetic cure for drug addiction. Is it worse than the disease? I don't think I want to know what the rest of this is about. Where's it? 2006. Oh, I know him. Lawrence Sanders. McNally's Caper. Palm Beach premiere Man About Crime plunges to the perilous depths of the high society in the loopiest Archie McNally thriller yet. If it were a soap opera, it might be called The Young and the Feckless, but McNally's Caper is real life, real death family meshagugas. The clan in question bears the proud name Forsyth, but the devious saga played out within the fortress-like walls of their baronial estate is far too raw to make it to Masterpiece Theater. Called in by patriot Griswold Forsyth, a client of Archie's father, who had even the close-mouthed senior McNally admits a pretty dull. Our happy-go-lucky sleuth commences a covert search to discover which intimate relative is lifting the family valuables piece by piece. Let's see. 1994. That's in good condition. Let's see. All right. Uh, uh, you got box? Shit. All right, let's see. Don't move. Kim Stanley Robertson, 40 Sins of Rain. We're supposed to get rain today. Lots of rain. When the Arctic ice pack was first measured in the 1950s, it averaged 30 feet thick in midwinter. By the end of the century, it was down to 15. One August, the ice broke. The next year, the breakup started in July. The third year in May. That was last year. In an increasingly steaming summer in the nation's capital, a Senate environmental staffer, Charlie Quibbler, cares for his young son and deals with the frustrating politics of global warming. Charlie must find a way to get a skeptical administration to act before it's too late, and his progeny find themselves living in swamp world. But the political climate poses almost as great a challenge as the environmental one when it comes to putting the public good ahead of private gain. Yeah! Tell it to the current peeps. Anyway. 2004. Well, that's a dream world. Let's do this one first. Falling. We've had a few of these a little recently. You just boarded a flight to New York. There are 143 other passengers on board. What you don't know is that 30 minutes before your flight, your pilot's family was kidnapped. For his family to live, everyone on your plane must die. The only way the family will survive is if the pilot follows his orders and crashes the plane. Okay. 2021. I guess it wasn't very popular. It's in good condition. I wonder why they discarded it. Maybe it wasn't interesting? Robert B. Parker, Night and Day. Police Chief Jesse Stone has received a share of unusual calls, but none can top the one from the local junior high school when reports of lewd contact by the school's principal, Betsy Ingersoll, filter into the station. Jesse is faced with a particularly delicate situation. Ingersoll claims she was protecting the propriety of her students when she inspected each girl's undergarments in the locker room. Jesse, of course, would like nothing more to see the prim, peculiar Ingersoll punished, but Betsy Ingersoll is married to the managing partner of the biggest law firm in the state, and Jay Ingersoll wants the matter buried, and he is used to getting what he wants. And there she goes again. Jesus. It's got an inscription. Given to Goodwill. Well, obviously someone bought it. 2009. Good condition. People asked for him. I wonder why they got Larry McCurdy. The guys asked for him. Telegraph Days. Yahtzee game came trotting toward us. They all rifles except Bert Yahtzee, who had his big club. Being six abreast, they pretty much filled the street. Then, as we all watched, Bert lifted his big skull smash club over his head and let out a high yell, after which the Yahtzee came racing toward us, this time at a dead run. They were coming to massacre us all. Oh, good God. You guys like this stuff? I guess they do. 2006. Ugh. Has a little stuff to it. Maybe we know why they got rid of this one. Oh, good God. I can see why they threw this one out. It's got. I wish my lighting was better. It's got the good paper, though. Got some stains. The jacket's ripped. Needs some taping. We'll do that before we send it off. Leon Uris. Where am I? Child was going to eat the purple passion. The Hajj. Okay. It's really yellow. The village of Taba had a timeless biblical quality. It stood on a knoll in the valley where Joshua beseeched the Lord to take the sun, stand still. Little changed from one Arab generation to another, and then came the Jews reclaiming a nearby swamp and proving that they could defend themselves in a hostile atmosphere. After that, everything changed. Map. (1984). Oh, this is a big one. What is it? Good Lord. Oh. Richard North Patterson. This thing weighs a ton. Oh, and it's large print. No wonder it's so freaking huge. And it's good paper. It's got the good paper. Ah. President Kerry Kilcannon and his fiancée, television journalist Lara Costello, have at last decided to marry, but their wedding is followed by a massacre of innocents in a lethal burst of gunfire, challenging their marriage and his presidency in ways so shattering that indelibly personal that Kilcannon vows to eradicate gun violence and crush the most powerful lobby in Washington, the Sons of the Second Amendment. Yeah, right. That'll never. 2003. Oh, I can see now. It's a little on the separating side. We're a little yellow here. Some more stains. There. But otherwise, it's in good condition. I take it this is a harp. Yeah. It's head DEKKER. It takes an obsessive mind to know one, and Daniel Clark knows the elusive killer he's been stalking. He's devoted every waking minute as profiler to find the serial killer known only as Eve. He pored over the crime scene of 16 young women who died mysterious deaths, all in underground basements or caverns. He's delved into the killer's head and puzzled over the twisted religious overtones of the killings. What Daniel can't possibly know is that he will be Eve's next victim. He will be the killer's first Adam. Oops. Two 2008. Ah, Barry EISLER, Requiem for an Assassin. That's a that's a barn sticker. The bargains. For John Wayne, the most charismatic assassin since James Bond, getting out of the life was never going to be easy. But with a new identity in Paris and the help of his lover, Mossad agent Delilah, he's beginning to believe the killing business behind. And then he receives a message from rogue CIA operative Jim Hilger. We have your friend Docs. Do as we tell you, or the former Marine sniper dies. Was this a Bourne thing at one point or similar? For a professional like Rain, the choice ought to be easy. Do the job. A series of 3 hits and save his friend and partner. But how does Rain know Hilga won't kill Docs anyway once the assignment is complete? Which is true. 2007. What's this? Payback. J.C. Pollock. These are some interesting books. A little violent for me. He looks like, what's his face? Gucci? I forget the guy's name. Guy wrote his name in it. Whoever this book belonged to. He writes his T's like a Y. They used to do that in the olden days. That used to drive me crazy when I was transcribing. The man who savagely murdered Catherine Gannon on New York City elegant Upper East Side is untouchable. He's a Russian with diplomatic immunity. When her husband Jack Cannon tries to seek justice on his own, he is warned off by a sympathetic Manhattan detective who reveals that not just the State Department, but the FBI and CIA want Gannon entirely off the case and out of town. 1989. You think they'd write these books today? Douglas Preston, The Kraken Project. This looks pretty new. I wonder when they get rid of this. Brand new. Let's see. NASA is building a probe to splash down in the Kraken Mare, the largest sea on Saturn's great moon, Titan. It's one of the most promising habitats for extraterrestrial life in the solar system, but the surface is unstable and dangerous, requiring the probe to be outfitted with artificial intelligence software. Melissa Shepard, a brilliant programmer, has developed Dorothy, a powerful self-modifying AI whose potential is both revolutionary and terrifying. When miscalculations lead to a catastrophe during testing, Dorothy flees into the internet. Former CIA agent Wyman Ford is tapped to help track down the rogue AI. As Ford and Shepard search for Dorothy, they realize that horrific experience in the wasteland of the internet have changed her ways they can barely imagine. Oh, this is scary, especially with all the AI today. And this is written in 2014. Could you imagine if this author saw what AI can do today? Jeffrey Deaver, The Burning Wire, a Lincoln Rhyme novel. The weapon is invisible and omnipresent. Without it, modern society grinds to a halt. It's electricity. The killer harnesses and steers huge arc flashes with voltage so high and heat so searing that the steel melts and his victims are set afire. When the first explosion occurs in broad daylight, reducing a city bus to a pile of molten, shrapnel-riddled metal, officials fear terrorism. Rhyme, a world-class forensic criminologist known for his successful apprehension of the most devious criminals, is immediately tapped for the investigation. Long, a quadriplegic, he assembles New York NYPD Detective Amelia Sachs and Officer Ron Pulaski as his eyes, ears, and legs on crime sites, and FBI agent Fred Delray as his undercover man on the street. As the attacks continue across the city at a sickening pace and terrifying demand, letters begin appearing. The team works desperately against time, and with the maddening little forensic evidence, they try to find the killer. 2010. Mark of the Beast. Shit, would they do get rid of all the violent books at once? A little yellow. Let's see. Dr. Regina Dickerson, a Catholic physician in San Diego, has discovered a certain genetic marker that indicates the carrier is prone to psychotic violence. Using blood from prison inmates, her theory begins to prove itself over and over again with its violent offenders. The variety of crimes is diverse. One couple murders their children for organ money. Their kids? Oh, good God. One couple murders, a man kidnaps young girls to seduce and kill them. Another man has a penchant for cyanide. Yeah, you wouldn't get me near this book with a 10-foot pole. 2014. Well, here's one we know. Unsolved, James Patterson. Damaged. Liquid stain on page 10 and 18. That's why the library discarded it. Somebody had uh Cheetos. FBI agent Emery Dockery is absolutely relentless. She's young and driven, and her unique skill at seeing connection others miss has brought her an impressive string of arrests. But a shocking new case of unfolding across the country has left her utterly baffled. The victims all appear to have died by accident and seem to have nothing in common. But this many deaths can't be a coincidence, and the killer is somehow one step ahead of every move Dockery makes. 2019. It's not that old. So it probably wouldn't have been discarded except for the fact that it had those stains on it. Unless, of course, another reason the libraries will discard a book is because they'll buy, depending on how many libraries are in your neighborhood, they'll buy X number of copies. And then when enthusiasm dies down for it and or the paperback comes out, then they get rid of half and keep half. And then they probably get rid of another couple and may keep one or two for several years, or each branch of the library may have one copy. So there may be 10 or 20 copies, depending on how large your city or town is, and how much they can afford on the books, too. Fruit of the Drunken Tree. Ingrid Rojas Contreras. 7-year-old Chula and her older sister Cassandra enjoy carefree lives thanks to their gated community in Bogota. But the threats of kidnapping, car bombs, and assassinations hover just outside the neighborhood walls, where the godlike drug lord Pablo Escobar continues to elude authorities and capture the attention of the nation. When their mother hires Petrona, a live-in maid from the city's guerrilla-occupied slum, Chula makes it a mission to befriend the aloof teenager. But Petrina's mystery behavior conceals a powerful yearning. She's a young woman crumbling under the burden of providing for her family as the riptide of first love pulls her into the opposite direction. As both girls' families scramble to maintain stability and the rapid escalating conflict, Petrina and Chula find themselves entangled in a web of secrecy. Okay. 2018. Ah, we know him. A little yellow. Hmm. Was good. Yeah, very good. Mario spent the last 3 years of his life writing Ometer, the concluding installment in his saga about power and the morality. In The Godfather, he introduced us to the Corleones. The last Don, he told us the wicked tale of Ciro's Clericuzis. In the Armada, Proust chronicles the affairs of the Aprils, a family on the brink of legitimacy in the world of criminals. Don Raymond April is an old man, wearily enough to retire gracefully from the organized crime after a lifetime of ruthless conquest. Having kept his 3 children at a distance, he's ensured that they are now respectable members of the establishment. Valeris is an Army colonel who teaches at West Point. Mark Cantino is an influential TV executive, and Nicole is a corporate litigator with a weakness for pro bono cases to fight the death penalty. To protect them from harm and to maintain his entry into the legitimate world of internal banking, Don April has adopted a nephew from Sicily, Astor Vila, whose legal guardian made the unfortunate decision to make suicide in the trunk of a car. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. 2000. It's in good condition. John Lee Carr. Absolute Friends. Another Barnes sticker. Psst. I know why they discarded this one. By chance and not by choice, Ted Mundy, external driver, failed writer, and expatriate son of British Army officer, used to be a spy, but that was in good old Cold War days. But a cinder block wall divided Berlin, and the enemy was too easy to recognize. Today, Mundy is a down-at-the-heels tour guide in southern Germany, dodging creditors, supporting a new family, and keeping an eye out for trouble, while in spare moments vigorously questioning the actions of the country he once served. 2003. Ugh. Uh, yeah. I can see why those were discarded. I can. I need some gloves. I need some something. Let me just. Looks okay, right? Can you see it? Yeah. I have to wash my hands after this. Oh, look, there's a map. What is that? Font 2? The publication 13 years ago of Colleen McComb's The Thornbirds. Have you seen the movie? You gotta see the movie. It's probably on YouTube. Um, Landmark event remarking the achievement now surpassed by a novel in which storytelling and scholar combine to life one of most history's important epochs. The first man in Rome sweeps the reader into an irresistibly vivid world of political intrigue. Okay, what's the year? This has got some. Otherwise, the book is okay. Oh, I like a cast list. I'm gonna have to wash everything after you. But otherwise, the book is in good condition, except for the. I think that might be mold. 1990. First edition. It's gonna be worth a few pennies. If it wasn't for the top of it. And this one's worse. Ugh. This doesn't have as many maps in it. This doesn't have the detail the other one does. Best-selling author First Man in Rome comes the second book on the continuing saga of the downfall of one of civilization's most earliest attempts at democracy. The career of Gaius Maius, the guy in the picture and the other one, a six-time consul of Rome, is in decline, but the aging Marius seeks an unprecedented and prophesied seventh consulship, setting him at odds with the brilliant tormentor Lucius. (1991). Robin Cook, chromosome 6. This is a reminder. When notorious underworld figure Carlo Franconi is gunned down, his mafia competitors become prime suspects. Suspicions are fueled when Franconi's body disappears from the city morgue before it can be autopsied, much to the embarrassment of the chief medical examiner and the mayor, but to the amusement of the morgue's resident cynic, forensic pathologist Dr. Jack Stapleton. 1997. The Crazy Ladies of Pearl Street. TREVANIAN. The place, Albany, New York. The year is 1936. 6-year-old Jean-Luc Lapointe is little sister and his spirited but vulnerable young mother have abandoned again by his father, a charmer and con artist, with no money and no family willing to take them in. The Lapointes managed to create a fragile nest at 238 Pearl Street. For the next 8 years through this Great Depression and the Second World War, they live in the great heart of the Irish slum with the in ward healers, unemployment, and grinding poverty. Jean-Luc discovers its neighborhood of crazy ladies, Miss Cox, the feared and ridiculous teacher who ignites his imagination, Miss Kane, who runs a beauty parlor, fortune-telling salon, Miss Meehan, the desperate, harried matriarch of the sluggish family, and Miss McKinney, who spends every day tending to a catonic husband. 2005. And the last book in this box, The Ape House. I've seen Water for the Elephants come by often, but not this one. Sam, Bose, Lola, and Mbongo, Jelini, and Makini are no ordinary apes. These bombos, like others of this species, are capable of reasoning and carrying out deep relationships. Unlike bombos, they also know American Sign Language. Isabel Duncan, a scientist at the Great Ape Language Lab, doesn't understand people, but the animals she gets, especially her bombos. Isabel feels more comfortable in the world than she's ever felt among humans until she meets John Thigpen, a very married reporter who braves every present animal rights protest outside the lab to see what's really going on inside. 2010. Please join me next week for more boxing. I have more boxes, more surprises. These are so much fun. I enjoy the heck out of these because I don't know what's in these boxes before I open them. They're like, here, have a box. Please hit the like and subscribe. Have a good day.